Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to tonight's episode of the ZodWriter Show. Tonight is a very, very special episode for me because I'm going to be talking about something that is near and dear to my heart, and is not really a topic that I discuss a lot on my channel. As everybody who watches the ZodWriter show and follows me on YouTube, I tend to talk more about, movies and entertainment related topics. But tonight, I'm delving into discussing a topic that I love, and I'm a big part of the home arcade community. And I've decided to dedicate an entire ZodWriter show to some very specific and good questions about that market. So I do apologize to people that are coming here, and want me to talk about DC and movies and that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to be doing that tonight. Tonight is going to be strictly devoted to the home arcade scene, and I'm actually expecting to have a few guests pop up here and there tonight to join me in my discussion, and it's going to be interesting because we're going to cover a lot of stuff. So if home arcades is something that you're into, tonight is the show for you. And I intend to do a lot more stuff with the home arcade community as time goes on. I have several crossover streams with other people planned for the future. A lot of things coming up, big things coming up that I really want to delve into and talk about. And the thumbnail and the description kind of gives everybody a gist of what this is basically going to be about. So I hope that those of you who are interested will join me and will enjoy this topic, because maybe you'll find something that you're interested in. Maybe some of you will have a passing interest in home arcades, and I'm gonna try to educate some people and talk about some different things, and hopefully yeah, this helps people, especially if you're out there in the market right now looking for a home arcade for where you live. So hopefully this will we can address certain things, and this will be fun. And so let's go in here, and I'm going to go ahead and read some of your comments. I see that the comments have kind of lit up already, and this is quite interesting. And Neo says, "Who's here waiting?" Well, I'm glad you're here, Neo. That's a really good thing. I'm hopefully you and I are going to get to talk tonight. That's awesome. Katsuka says he, and he says he's just lurking. Always great to have Katsuka here for any ZodWriter show banner episode. It's always cool. And Neo says, nice. Zohar, my good buddy Zohar, who was actually kind of inspired me. We kind of inspired each other. He inspired me after our talk over the weekend to talk more about home arcade, because I really enjoyed the discussion that him and I had at the end of the stream that I did on the weekend. And apparently I inspired him to pre-order Arcade 1-Up's Big Blue again. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that tonight. We'll be talking about the Big Blue. We'll be talking about Arcade 1-Up's price increases and that kind of thing. There's a lot of stuff that is on the table for today. And Zohar says, currently pre-ordered. This may change by the end of the show. Well, again, I don't know, man. I took the most streamlined image of the Big Blue I could find for the thumbnail, and of course I did my little magic, because I wanted to blend it in with the black background for the ZodWriter show. So it came out looking awfully great. I don't know if the real Big Blue actually looks like that, but maybe it does. Katsuka says, my boy Zohar, what's crack-a-lackin'? And Zohar says, maybe even during the show. Oh, okay, cool. Who knew I was this sick? I don't think you're sick. I just think you want to make sure you make an informed purchasing decision. I think, and it's cool, if you like the aesthetic and you want to get in. That's something else I really want to talk about tonight. Do you really need to purchase all these arcade cabinets if you find one that is specifically right for you? Because a lot of it today for me in home arcades is the fact that space is at a premium. So people are kind of, are starting to run out of space. Even some of the big YouTube channels, the big YouTubers that buy all these arcades from Arcade 1UP and all the other companies are running out of space now. So it's kind of interesting, to see. It's like, well, do you eventually switch to a multicade, or do you just start liquidating some of your other machines and going with other options? It's going to be interesting to see what people have to say. And Zohar says, "Sup, cat," and Zohar says, "I'm learning so much about myself these past 2 weeks. For example, I can't make up my goddamn mind." Well, I totally can sympathize with that, because sometimes it is difficult to make decisions with regards to these types of things. And Zohar laughs. Gonna eat dinner and just watch. Okay, Zohar, that's cool. No jokes tonight. I'm all out. I mean, Google is all out. Zohar, you are welcome, of course. And anybody who wants to jump on the panel to talk about this stuff is more than welcome to do so. I would love to have somebody to go back and forth with tonight in discussing these topics. And Zohar, you definitely know you are welcome. So you can always jump on if you feel like it. If you have something you want to add, to this discussion, feel free to jump on. The link is in the description for all you home arcade enthusiasts who have things to say about Arcade 1UP or any of the other companies we will be discussing tonight. And Igor says, have a great stream. Have a great stream, guys. Hit that like button for our brother Zod. Thank you, Igor. I always appreciate you so much. Thanks for coming in and always propping up the channel. Thanks for being such a great friend. And thank you so much for just being here when you can make it, man. I totally appreciate it. And Katsuka is smiling. And the Snyder Fan 99 says, hi, everyone. Hey, Snyder Fan. How you doing? It's great to see you, as always. Katsuka says, hey, Snyder Fan 99. Katsuka says, Zod is late. Yeah. And Neo says, the show jumps in and out of your channel, but I see it now. I'm on my way. Great, Neo. Great. It's going to be nice to talk to you, because, again, I'm a big fan of the Unico MVSX. It's going to be a wonderful conversation with you. I cannot wait to see you tonight. That's awesome. And Zohar says, I may come later. I'm just so exhausted. Just got home literally just now. Hey, I understand, man. But like I said, you can pop on. I don't know. This is the kind of topic that I can go for, hours talking about this stuff. I love this stuff so much. And having you guys here makes it so special, because you guys are we're all part of this close-knit community, and to be able to just sit down and positively discuss all this stuff is wonderful, in my opinion. I'm very happy. Neil says the same, and he also says, I'm on vacation, but long day, but since I got the invite, figured why the hell not. That's great. I really appreciate it. And Rush says, yo, Zod. What's up, Rush? Good to see you. Glad you decided to join us for tonight's ZodWriter show. And to die for, Bobby Vu, the main man, the man that makes arcades fantastic, clean like a mother. Yeah. To die for. Yes, that's what it's all about. Bobby Vu. You are the man. You are the man, Bobby Vu. And I, hey, listen, man, I got nothing but love for you. And we're definitely going to be talking a little bit about you tonight, man. So if you want to jump on, of course you can. You're more than welcome. The link again, once again, ladies and gentlemen, is in the description. And To Die For says, hi, everyone. Now, there's a name I have not seen a lot in ZodWriter show chats, which is the Irregular Neil. It is good to see you, man. I'm glad that you decided to jump on. I know you got a couple of arcade one-ups yourself. It's cool to see you here in the chat, man. You do a lot of great content. So thank you for popping in. And he says, home arcades are fun. I've got 3. Yes, there you go, man. That is great. And Katsuka says, just when you think you're out, they pull you back in. That is exactly true, Katsuka. Home arcade collecting is addictive, but now it's also gotten to the point where it is extremely expensive. It is getting, prices are going up. At least if you like arcade one-up, prices are going up. And we're going to get into that a little bit tonight too, because I really feel like arcade one-up is kind of on a downward trajectory because of where they are in the market currently with their new price models. And Irregular Neil says, all hail Zod. And Katsuka says, Neil struck. And let's see. To Die For says, out of all the new lineup, Slim Blue is the one. Okay. Well, that's coming from you, Bobby. That's some high praise, man. And Katsuka says, giggity. Irregular Neil says, Katsuka. Richard, thank you for stopping by, man. Richard says, Big Blue is not worth $900 Canadian with dollar store buttons and joysticks. I couldn't agree more. Let's kind of talk about this topic a little bit here, Richard. I'm wondering what makes people think that with these price hikes, I kind of feel like, and I mean, I could be wrong in this because I'm not trying to, I don't want to get down on arcade one-up too much. But here's my issue with arcade one-up. It's like you start out with your cabinets being $299, $399, $499, you're okay. But once you start going above that $500 price point, once you start, and then it starts to get out of hand because, Zohar and I were talking about this the other day. And one of the things that we both were able to determine is eventually you start getting to a point where you're no longer talking about just purchasing an arcade machine for, just for fun. Like you go into Walmart and you might have nostalgia for, let's give an example, like NBA Jam. You might go into a Walmart and you see NBA Jam on sale for clearance at Walmart for like $299, $300. And you're in Walmart and you're thinking, oh, I used to like NBA Jam growing up. I used to think that was a great arcade game. Maybe I'll buy it. That's not that expensive and it's cool. I can put it together and I can put it in my, in my house, put it in my basement or whatever, or upstairs, wherever I'm going to put it. And you might think like that. And you go into Walmart and you buy it for like that or any other arcade one-up that you might see, right? But the problem is you make that purchase, all right? And it's cool because you're like, oh, this is great. I got NBA Jam. I got a piece of history, a piece of nostalgia, something that was important to me growing up, right? That's cool because you can make that kind of almost like an impulse buy if you see it at Walmart, right? Because you realize for the value, for the money, for $300, you're not spending that much money, and you are being reminded of those memories of a game that you loved back in the day, right? But when it comes to something where now these cabinets are going for like $700, $800 and upwards of more, now you have a problem because now you're making now it becomes a financial discussion. Now you have to sit there and say to yourself, okay, if I drop $800 on this X-Men cabinet, $900 on this X-Men cabinet, I'm gonna be struggling. Now I have to budget the cabinet. You see, that's the thing. The difference is that now it's no longer, oh, this is a nice like toy. This is a nice piece of nostalgia. This is something I can put in my game room or my basement or whatever. You don't have to really think about it. You're just dropping a couple $100. But when you get into upwards of $1,000 for an arcade one up, now you really have to think about it. Now you're really like, no, it's not that important. It's not that cool. Now you're going to second guess it because it's like, I got so many other things. I got bills. I got, other responsibilities. I got other things to take care of. It doesn't make sense to buy this. You see, that's where I think I'm wondering, and I'm asking the panel and everybody who is involved in this hobby like myself, is Arcade One Up literally at this point pricing themselves out of the market? Are they? That's the question I want to know. Are they pricing themselves out? Because if I got to make a decision now between, stuff that I need to take care of versus an Arcade One Up, I'm not going to choose the Arcade One Up. Especially because there's so many options out there. And we're going to get into that tonight. There's so many options out there for people that if you want to, get an arcade that you're not, where you don't have to necessarily break the bank. And if you are going to spend, a good amount of money, there's options out there where that are comparable and still cheaper than Arcade One Up that is going to allow you to get literally thousands of games on a machine without having to pay those expensive prices. That's the other thing. It's not like Arcade One Up, when you buy a One Up machine, is giving you, a ton of games. You're going to get 12 games tops, and most of the time you're lucky if you get 3 or 4 games, right? On their regular, 3/4 scale machines. So I'm kind of just, that's where I'm at with that. I think they really are kind of pricing themselves out of the market, even for the Walmart crowd, because that's where most people, if they want to go physically pick one up, you just walk into Walmart and they're usually reasonably priced. And To Die For says, I'm going to change the ugliest control deck. That's right. And Ketsuka says, we have royalty in this chat. We sure do. And To Die For says, man, thanks, but I'm at work. Hey, man, I'm just glad that you're here, Bobby. That's absolutely, I totally understand, man. It's great that you're here, though. And Irregular Neil says, thank you, ZodWriter. No, thank you, Neil. Thank you, man. And To Die For says, on to my next project, Mega Blue Hybrid. Stay tuned. Oh my God, that's awesome. That is awesome. Wow. And Irregular Neil says, they are getting high. Yes, they absolutely are. And To Die For says, I buy just to kick everyone's ass in the retro community. Wi-Fi, that's the only reason. Yeah, that's one of the things that Zohar was talking about too. The idea of buying the Big Blue just because of the Wi-Fi option. But to me, I've never been a big online player anyway. So it really doesn't bother me all that much whether the machine has Wi-Fi or not. I'm content just to have a good, and to be honest with you, I like my arcade machines to just be arcade machines. They don't have to necessarily connect to the internet. I don't really need all that. I don't need updates. I just want to be able to play the games. You know what I mean? And this is one of the reasons why I'm going to mention quite a few great options out there right now. The MVSX. As soon as Neo comes on, we'll get into discussing all the MVSX. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and go off camera because some people seem to be having issues. So I'm going to go off camera here and just have my little icon going, since right now I'm the only one talking. And we'll see what we'll see what people we'll see what people are thinking. And Neo says, "Is this thing on?" Yes, it is. Guess everyone is just listening intently. Yeah, everything is running. Everything is on. Everything is going on all cylinders. We have plenty of watchers. I'm so glad all of you are here tonight. And Neo, yeah, whenever you're ready, man, you can jump on and we can talk about the MVSX. I'm more than excited for that to be the case. And to die for, what's up, man? And Chris says, I am here. And Neo says, oh yeah. So guys, again, if anybody wants to jump on, you are more than welcome to do so. The link is in the description. I'm hoping to have a nice panel tonight where we can discuss all this great and amazing stuff. Neo says, let's go. And Zohar, what's up, brother?
What's up, buddy? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine, my man. How are you feeling tonight, man?
I'm so exhausted.
You look exhausted.
I'm so exhausted.
What kind of pizza do you have coming?
I have Pizza Hut large jalapeno and black olives. I know.
I love that, dude, bro. I love black olives and I love jalapenos.
But it's coming in an hour and a half.
Oh,
they're like, you mind waiting an hour and a half? I'm like, do I have a choice? And so it's coming in like 90 minutes, but maybe I'll eat on the stream when it comes. Who knows?
That'd be fine. That's fine. Yeah. People do that all the time. Hashtag MVSX. Listen, man, we are in the presence of somebody right now, Zohar, who I'm about to bring on, who is a part of Unico's MVSX team.
Oh my God.
This is Neo. What's up, Neo?
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up, Neo?
Wow, this is great, Neo. I'm so glad you're here.
I know his name. I know his name, but I don't know if I can say it, if I'm allowed to.
Yeah, it's Chris. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Chris, the things that you are doing for the retro arcade community is just beautiful, man. I am so glad when I was watching all your videos, about, where you were showcasing the MVSX, all your Unico stuff. It's a beautiful thing. How do you feel about doing all of that, brother?
It's a lot of fun, man. I mean, for one, I really enjoy the product. The MVSX is awesome. I loved it before I even had one. You know what I mean? Once I actually got one at home, I was really able to see what it was all about. It's not a perfect system, but for an entry product into the home arcade space, I think they knocked it out of the park.
Oh my God, yes.
So yeah, it's a great machine. The fact that it offers 50 games right off the bat, the fact that it's $500 and it's still $500. Back when it first came out, back in I think it was November or September, I don't even remember when, but late last year, there was a lot of talk about the price point, and that and a lot of people were complaining that it was a little high, that it seemed too high, because back then we had the $299 one-ups and the $399 one-ups, so it was priced high compared to those systems. But if you really compare apples to apples, the MVSX has 50 games. There's not any one-up cabinet that has even anything close to that.
No.
You're not going to find any in the Neo Geo. So if you like Neo Geo, if you love Neo Geo, you're only going to find it in an arcade format on the MVSX. Unless you go make your own ROM box, and we can talk about all that too. I'm going to talk about everything, guys. But as far as just a product that's in the arcade space, in the home arcade space, there's nothing that really stacks up to this as far as just an arcade unit as a standalone product that's offering those licenses, right? Anyways, back then it was $500 and it seemed high. Now it's like on the low end. Now it's the cheap one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So funny.
That's amazing.
It's like when I look at a cabinet that's got 50 games on it, and as beautiful as it is, like the big red, it's beautiful as it is. It's a beautiful cabinet. The design is just wonderful. I love everything about it. And again, the point you just brought up about it being 50 games out of the box, how is that not the best option available for somebody that actually wants an arcade cabinet. If that's the only cabinet you can have, the only cabinet that you have room for in your place, you only got room for one.
You
That's
just need
the best
one
option. That's
really
all you
just
need.
one.
Right.
And if they're going for that nostalgic piece, I mean, how much more nostalgic can you be with that look? That look is exactly how you remember it. They even went beyond, they didn't have to go there, but they put a faux coin door. They didn't use a sticker and cut corners like one up. No,
That's right.
they're
Yeah.
above that. They're like stickers. We don't use stickers. We actually give a what, and we're gonna put a plastic faux, so at least it looks authentic, or as authentic as we can possibly make it, right? And it's like eye popping. I mean, it's eye popping, and you don't have to build it. That's another thing that I like. You don't have to build it.
Right. There's no IKEA furniture here with the
Exactly.
MVSX. You literally get a fully built machine out of the box ready to go. I didn't even have to take any plastic wrap off of my screen. It was ready to go right out of the box. All I had to do was plug it in.
It's literally saying, please open me up and play with me.
I'm sorry you didn't get the plastic film, because there's something satisfying about peeling that off, man.
I didn't even have a problem with it, Neil. I was so excited. I was just like, I'm plugging this sucker in. And you know what was funny? You know how it comes with Terry Bogard. Terry Bogard was the free gift. I didn't get Terry Bogard till the next day after I got my MVSX. Terry Bogard came as like a separate thing, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
But like everybody bought them.
People were talking about getting it later and stuff. But
right, everybody bought everybody that who is a King of Fighters fan bought the my figurine for the top of their MVSX. Both me and Zohar have it. I think P-Dubs was the first person to talk about it because it went on sale, and it looks great on top of the MVSX.
And you know what? Call me crazy, but those sticks. Those sticks on the MVSX. Am I crazy, or is it a little bit better than 1UP2? It feels a little bit tighter than the 1UP.
Sure does.
It does, right?
So what I've heard as far as the feedback on that is that they do seem to feel like at a quality level or a higher level than 1UP. But I mean, that's still one of the issues with the system. Pretty much with all the arcade systems, which I think, except like iArcade. I think iArcade is a step above like the MVSX in terms of the quality of the buttons and the joysticks. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the things. One of the things that I remember reading a lot about is that the sticks are like horrendous. The buttons suck, And when I finally got the system, that's one of the first things I did was like, okay, can I pull off the?
Lost them.
Did we lose you, Neil?
King of Fighters games, right? Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're like cutting out. You're like cutting out really bad for some reason.
Yeah, it could be because I mean I'm out of town on vacation, so
he's making the Capcom MVSX right now. That's what.
Okay. Well, we can still hear you. You're still here. All
right.
Now you sound a little better.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, anyways, I was just saying that the buttons and the sticks is one of the major complaints of the MVSX, and so when I first got one, that was the first thing I wanted to do was try that out. And I was able to roll out all my moves, But of course, with anything, I mean, if you love competition style sticks, I mean, you're not going to get that right out of the box. You go and mod it yourself, but that's the cool thing is that you can. It's easy to open up the panel, change out the buttons and the sticks. It's never been one of the selling points for the MVSX as far as the buttons and the sticks go. But the thing that I'm hearing is that it's a notch above what you get with 1UP.
100%.
But I haven't felt the need to change any of the buttons or the sticks on the units that I've been playing with, So,
I feel like the screen is better. I feel like the screen is better too because, and you get more filter options than you do with the 1UP.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that you could actually go in and add the scan lines I love scan lines. I'm one of those people. I mean, I think it's beautiful to be able to add the scan lines and then go play Metal Slug. And they added the blood, like you were
You're
saying.
welcome.
Remember
You're welcome.
Zohar? I was like,
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Zohar. You
You're
see,
welcome.
they added the blood. But the one game that they didn't add the blood back to, which irritated me, was Last Blade 2. They never added the blood back to Last Blade 2, and I don't know why. I'm like, that's another game that when you hack, you have copious amounts of blood, but I'm like, whatever. I added it for Metal Slug. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
definitely
mean, like I said,
my
going
favorite.
back to what I said, back to the beginning, is just the fact that, the system's not perfect, but again, as an entry system, as far as like somebody that's, like Unico coming out with a product that nobody had ever heard of Unico before, and they're entering this home arcade space, which is, flooded with all of the one-ups, and all those, basically all the SKUs that they just basically flood the market with, right? I mean, all the different licenses, and they create more and more cabinets and all that. And I'm not here to bash one up. I mean,
Why
I'll
not? Let's
certainly
bash
give my
one up.
opinion as a
Who
gamer.
cares?
Well, I mean, I'll give my opinions on it for sure, but I mean, they're able to secure a lot of licenses, and they're able to pull the nostalgia strings, so you got to give them credit for the fact that they're able to pump out, a bunch of cabinets, and people are picking them up, so it kind of goes back to the conversation about the price point too, is that, if they have all these SKUs out, and people are buying them up, they're like, well, let's test the waters, and maybe that's what they're doing, to see, well, how far can we go, how high can we go? Maybe they're offering more of a, of a profit margin for retailers now that they're priced higher, and that's giving retailers an incentive to kind of buy them up and stock them up too. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the background.
It's
What the
about
reason is.
it feels like it's about quantity, not quality with them. Because how many variations of Pac-Man are they going to keep putting out?
Not enough. You know what I really like? This is what I really respect with Unico and Chris and Bill and everyone behind, and Jay, especially Jay.
Yes.
They're doing their own thing. They're not following anyone. They're doing their own thing. Other cabs, you have to assemble. They don't have it assembled. Their screen is they have options where other companies don't have the options as far as the screen, filter and all the filter options that they have is different. They have the value, the 50 games, as opposed to the 3 games, right? And they're now releasing a new screen, like a 21.5-inch screen, or I think it's 26. Like they're literally
26 and a half. Yeah.
Wow.
They're like the Nintendo. They are the Nintendo of 3/4 cabs. They're doing their own thing, and they don't care what anybody says.
And they're doing it well.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be very successful.
That screen is awesome, man. I mean, when I saw that screen, I was at that. We were at that Classic Game Fest. That was the first time I saw it. It was unboxed that day, and we were trying to figure out how can we show it off. And unfortunately, we hooked it up to a Neo Geo Mini because that's pretty much all we had to really show it off. But the screen is beautiful. I mean, it really is, man. When you see it in real life, it's just like it pops. So anybody that's really interested in that, and I know there's been discussion of the multiple sizes, so it's going to be a 26 and a half and then a 21 and a half inch. Now, Jay mentioned that the 21 and a half inch is something that might be able to fit or should fit in the MVSX. So if someone wants to upgrade their screen on the MVSX, it sounds like that's going to be an option that's coming down the pipeline, which is really exciting because this screen is, I mean, if you like the screen on the MVSX the way it is now, this thing is like crazy bananas.
Could that fit?
Ultimate
Could that fit?
Better.
So
according to according to Jay, he's saying that it should be able to fit, but I mean, we'll have to wait and see when we actually get our hands on one, but that's kind of exciting if it does.
It's going to be so insane. If you guys would have made the Capcom MVSX with 50 games, I wouldn't have pre-ordered the Big Blue. I'm only ordering the Big Blue because you guys don't have the 50 Capcom cab yet. But I feel like it's coming down the line.
Oh my God! When Capcom MVSX comes out, wow, it's over. It's game over, bro.
It's game over.
That's crazy. I mean, like, it's funny, Zohar, when you mentioned earlier about the whole faux coin door. I was thinking about that as like, that was the first system that I remember actually having that type of thing on there, that feature. But then now after the NVSX, there's been a few other cabinets, right, that have kind of introduced that into their own cabinets, which kind of reminded me back of just the whole MVS days of arcades. So when the Neo Geo came out with the MVS, it was the first system that offered a memory card, to people that played the arcade. It was the first time vendors could actually just swap out games in one arcade unit without having to buy multiple cabinets for their arcade and keep investing in more and more arcades. You can just get cartridges and just slide them in and change out your marquees. And now you've just kind of you just created a whole new profit space for something that maybe had been dying out in an older game. So the Neo Geo and the MVS has always been a front runner on technology, and you know what I mean? And it's kind of weird how the MVSX is kind of echoing that with some of the things that it's done. Now you're looking at price. The MVSX came out at a price point at $500, which seemed high, but it has 50 games. And now you're seeing all these other arcade units coming out with the same, not the same games, but a smaller lineup of titles, 3, 12. If it's Legacy, maybe you'll get 12 games. But now they're at $5.99 or $6.99, $7.99, right? So that's kind of it's really interesting the how it's mirrored the history. The MVSX, how it's echoed, history in the past with Neo Geo and the way it came up. And even back then, the home console was super expensive, but it still developed some technologies that hadn't been introduced yet in the home system. So it allowed customers to get, or gamers to buy a memory card. It was priced really high. The cartridges, obviously, to create the cartridges, all those ROMs in it and stuff, made it hard to really enter a mass market type of situation. But it still had a lot going for it, man. So
did you guys not so
same as the MVSX? It's kind of
you
what
guys think that Arcade 1UP is pricing themselves out of the market now?
I mean, the buyer has all the power, right? So I mean, if people keep buying them up, and they're thinking that's the only way they're going to be able to secure that game in their home arcade. Like you said earlier too about the space, there's only so much space. Space is finite. At some point, someone's going to have to make some decisions,
right?
And they're going to have to either unload what they already bought to make room for the new, out with the old, in with the new. Or
I have space for one more. As you can see by my background, the MVSX
investment
is breaking up. Breaking up.
Okay, well, we'll wait for you to come back, because you're breaking up, man. Can you come out and come back in, because you're breaking up. Yeah, we'll see if he comes. If
you see by my background, actually, can you hear me at all or no?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're coming through perfect.
So as you can see, I have one more space right near the MVSX. I have just one more cab that I could put in, and it's gonna be the big blue. Just because, what else am I gonna? I have to fill that little space up. So that's just how I am. But now I'm thinking not to do. I'm just like back and forth. I have no idea. I want to see what Unico does in the fall.
Yeah, I know. Like Unico is where it's at this point for me. I mean, you and I, we talked a lot about at games, how if you have the like a Legends Gamer Pro, or you have a Legends Gamer Mini or whatever, and you hook it up to a TV, you really have everything you need with coin ops.
Yeah.
So it's not really that if you want to play arcade games, you don't really need anything else unless you like the aesthetic of how these arcade machines look. And the MVSX is a beautiful cabinet. Other than the MVSX in Mortal Kombat, what more do we really need, Zohar? I mean, I just shake my head like
he talks about 50 games, but really we all know it's more than 50 games. I don't want to really touch on it because it's kind of taboo, whatever, but this system is so awesome that it allows you to soft mod and play any game that you want, really.
Pretty much.
Right? So it's just, I know it's the elephant in the room. Let's not talk about it, blah, blah, blah. But you know me. I have no filter. I'm just gonna say whatever I want.
I have to say, and I got to say this even here with Neo right here on the stream, we gotta always give props to the high-low team.
Yeah,
because the high-low team made the MVSX even more awesome, if that was even possible from a software perspective.
You know how many more people bought it because of that? I'm thinking more than 50% bought it because, oh wait, I can play Street Fighter. I could play all these other games.
I could play Simpsons. I can play X-Men versus Street Fighter, and X-Men versus Street Fighter plays better on the MVSX than it does on Arcade 1-Up. I mean, what are you talking about here?
And on a better screen and with better sticks. Why am I getting 1-Up again? I don't know. It didn't even make sense at that point to get anything else.
I agree.
So
I agree. Neil, are you able to weigh in a little bit on that? Do you think that?
Yeah, I'm not shy about talking about my past or what I've been involved in as far as, you know, helping out with, you know, creating. Well, I didn't do any of the development. Obviously, I was more the hype guy. I made the videos and showed, kind of like hyped up everybody about the upcoming stuff for the MVSX. You know, so I've got, you know, you can even look at my history if you look at my YouTube channel. I mean, the majority of my stuff has to do with high-low and the stuff that we did for the Arcade Stick Pro, MVSX. You know, there's some Neo Geo Mini stuff in there too. But yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm even doing what I'm doing now with Unico. It was a lot of those videos that kind of caught their attention, caught their eye, and they definitely saw that there was some influence with that, and it actually created some, you know, some hype actually, you know. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, is not so much making videos and hype, but trying to promote the product, you know, trying to promote the MVSX and trying to gain, I guess, a bigger foothold in the U.S. and the United States. But I've also actually secured a partner in the United Kingdom, and it's just about getting the product out to more people so that they could, yeah, that's a new thing. I mean, as soon as the ship arrives and they actually are able to sell it, then we'll definitely announce that partner. But it's really just getting that product out to more people just so that they can get to know the brand, because I mean, there's definitely a lot of other products coming in the future.
This is so
we
funny.
Want people's experience with Unico to be a great experience, and their first product out the gate is the MVSX. So I think that's a hell of a way to introduce, you know, Unico and what they're able to do. But
I think it's so funny that the topic of the topic of discussion is 1-Up, but Unico is so powerful, you can't ignore it. You know what I mean?
No, you can't.
It's just like, yeah. So I just thought it was pretty funny.
And you and I completely agree, Zohar, that Unico, the 1-Up, the MVSX is where it's at. When we're talking about the second question that I have here, which is who offers the best home arcade option for the money, it's obviously Unico.
Obviously,
right out of the gate, you get 50 games. So you're not. So again, it's just
even
insane.
before the price increase, when 1-Up was doing $3.99 and $4.99, MVSX was a better deal, even when they were compared to 1-Up. But now 1-Up with their $7.99, and then we're gonna get beefier chipsets just so they could run Killer Instinct or God knows what else they're gonna release. Their cabs are going to cost even more. There's no human decency anymore. They just want as much money as possible, cut as much corners as possible. The hell with a $3 Wi-Fi. We can't afford $3 to put into our cabs. We're going to give you a non-Wi-Fi MK countercade. You know what I mean? They just at this point don't care.
A two-player countercade with an 8-inch screen. Really?
They've gone to a point where they don't even care. And eventually they're going to realize if they don't care, we don't care either. You know what I mean? There are other products on the market that at least listen to us. You know, like with Unico, they listen to us. When I wanted blood, I was like, oh my God, they actually give a shit. I'm sorry, I'm cussing on your stream. But they actually listen to the
That was actually
consumers.
pretty amazing, by the way.
Oh,
the fact that happened, because I mean, before the product even launched to get to the market, before customers even started receiving it, that was like an immediate fix. I mean, they did that, before they even threw them in the boxes and send them out to customers, so that by the time that they received it, they already had that option to select the blood. So yeah, man,
and to
that
my point,
was pretty cool. I was there during that time.
And to my earlier point, that's just a testament to how consistent you guys are in listening to your customers. So,
which is something that you don't get from Arcade 1-Up, and that's
they
what
promise
the tragedy
a patch.
is.
They promised a patch on Miss Pac-Man for the past 6 months.
Miss Pac-Man.
I'm not playing.
But that doesn't stop them. But that doesn't stop them from releasing variant after variant of Miss Pac-Man either.
All of them are blurry with a Vaseline petroleum jelly on the screen. I can't play that game, with the screen is that blurry.
And then we have a nice comment.
But you know
here.
what? But people know Miss Pac-Man. People know Pac-Man. People know Miss Pac-Man. People know and recognize X-Men and Simpsons and Street Fighter. I mean, you talk about fighting games, that's the first thing that pops out of somebody's head. Somebody that probably doesn't even play games. They're just no Street Fighter. So they've got that going for them, And
but they're like a filler.
So
they're like a filler company. They're putting Paperboy and Bubbles on an MK cab, like desecrating MK franchise by putting Paperboy on that cab. It's just so insulting,
Right.
If
you're gonna put Paperboy on that cab, include the peripherals to play it properly.
That mentioned it.
They'll never do that. It costs too much. They'll never add peripherals. That's an extra $1 that they're gonna lose per cab.
The world, you know what I mean? I don't know.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up real bad, Neo. We're losing you again.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna switch to chat.
Okay. All right, Neo. I get it. We got a great comment. We got a great comment down here. You're gonna switch? It looks like we're about to lose Neo. It says, I didn't open my MVSX till I joined the group and was able to put Hilo on it. Yeah. I then bought another MVSX for my brother as a gift with Hilo on it. So you're exactly right, Zohar. I think a lot of people have that mentality where now you can add so much more content to the MVSX. Now it increases the value even more so. It's insane. As if the cabinet isn't cool enough as it is right out of the box. That's why
I think I'm gonna cancel the Big Blue live.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Right now I'm looking at my bank account and it says $656 pending for a cab. I'm thinking, what am I spending $656 on? Am I out of my mind? $656 for 3 games for sticks that are gonna break?
Yeah.
For a washed-out screen,
for a washed-out screen, like you said, Vaseline. Well, I don't know if the Street Fighter cab will have that, but
no, this one will be really, really sharp, but really washed out.
Did you see the one that they're selling? I believe it's on QVC. They're selling a Street Fighter Partycade that has 12 games on it. It's one of those Partycade, and it's got.
Yeah. I think Nick Cruz got it from Your Average Gamer.
Okay.
It's the one that you hang up on a wall or a door.
Yeah,
right?
like what?
Yeah, and sorry, Nick, but that's
and I think it's exclusive to Home Shopping Network or QVC, one of those two.
Wow.
And it's like it's like $233 or something like that, and I'm like, nah. And then they have all these like flex pay options, and it's like, no thanks, we're good.
It doesn't look good. It looks like a half a unit. It looks like it got chopped off or something.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't
like
it.
Yeah, it really doesn't look all that great. It's like they charge you half the unit. They're giving you half a unit, so they're charging you half the price.
Yeah, exactly.
These countercades. It's
not even Wi-Fi, right?
These countercades. No, I don't even think it's Wi-Fi. And these countercades shouldn't be more than, honestly, these countercades shouldn't be more than $80.
Where's Sonia at? Get her on.
She had some things she had to do tonight, so
Okay.
she's been busy. But I actually was really excited to do this show because we're talking about such great stuff here. We got Simon. He says the Turtles 1-Up resale value is insane, $600. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Have you seen the resale value, the resale prices for these 1-Ups? You go on some of these sites and the prices are through the roof.
It's
$900 I
I
seen
just
on
laugh.
one of those sites for your Mortal Kombat Legacy cab you got behind you, Zohar.
That's
Somebody's
Bobby
gonna pay
Voo's.
$900.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give it to Bobby Voo. Maybe he could sell it for $900.
He probably should. You can
Yeah.
get $900 for that because Bobby's got Bobby's got such a huge talent, that
Yeah.
I mean, he could turn around, sell it. Well, you know what kind of stuff that Bobby Voo could get for $900 for all the stuff that he builds? And
It's like 3 cabs. at least.
Katsuka is saying, "Hey Zohar," and says, "I'm afraid for the calendar. Its days are numbered." So there you go. There's another joke.
Oh no. Last
Well,
night's stream was crazy. Oh my god. That was like an hour and a half straight jokes from Google.
straight jokes from Google.
And it was so stupid, it was funny.
But it was funny because
Yeah.
it was so stupid.
Yeah.
What's your favorite game of all time to play on the MVSX? What do you play the most?
Oh, you know what? You'll be so surprised. You'll be so
probably
surprised.
will.
But Baseball Stars 2.
Yeah, I am surprised. That's pretty. I
like it
actually,
because it's very violent and it's very over the top, kind of like our favorite game, right?
Like
It's very
Mortal Kombat.
violent. It's very over the top. It's not like a very common type of sports game. They're like it's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people probably haven't played it, but it's not just a baseball game. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And I don't even like baseball that much. And
me
it's
either.
and it's my favorite game right now on MBSX.
And Neo says, "Sorry guys, using vacation Wi-Fi. I tried." That's okay, Neo. You can keep commenting. You can say all the things you were saying in the chat if your Wi-Fi is not good. That's cool. I'll just read what you say here, because I read as Zohar can attest. I read all the chats and make people wait 3.5 hours who want to come on the stream so I can read all the chats.
It's 1.5. It's
1.5. And my favorite game that I play a lot on the MVSX is Real Bout Fatal Fury Special. I play that.
Good game.
I play that the most. I always play it. Anytime I turn on the MVSX, I play it. Although since I started using RetroArch on the MVSX, I've been playing. I play MK1 on there sometimes because MK1 is playable through RetroArch on the MVSX.
You know, I play a lot of Street Fighter on my MVSX too. Alpha.
I don't blame you.
Alpha, Street Fighter 3, even Third Strike.
Third Strike.
Marvel versus Capcom. I'm making someone really mad at 1-Up right now.
And
Marvel versus Capcom.
X-Men
versus Street Fighter.
We could play Death Adder, Golden Axe if we want to too.
Hey, you know
that
what?
will play on MVSX.
Yep.
And Chris here says, I bought a Marvel Superheroes limited edition from Arcade 1-Up, but honestly wish I would have waited. I paid way too much, but the machine I would have got would have been the Marvel versus Capcom or X-Men versus Street Fighter. Still, the MVSX is the better value. Get the MVSX, get the high-low hack, and you're good to go.
So what's going to happen with them? Just let full transparency. Like, just let's be honest with everyone. What's going to happen with 1-Up if they keep doing this? People are running out of space for sure. People have 20, 25 cabs, and people are like remodeling their homes just to,
I've seen a few videos like that.
People are actually moving. People are actually buying another home just to.
Isn't that what Unqualified Critics is doing? Didn't he say he's got a whole different? He's got like a different room or something. He's building.
Yeah, but how long is this going to last if their prices keep going up? What is 2022 going to look like when they start releasing Daytona or Cruising USA or Killer Instinct if that game ever comes out? They're going to have graphics chips that cost way more than what they're using now, they're not going to stay at $699, $799. They're going to go even higher.
Yeah, because they're going to because the only thing they're going to have left is tapping into games from like the later 2000s. So that means chipsets, like you said, are going to skyrocket. And yeah, Killer Instinct is going to be the first. I think is going to be the first like $950 cab. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see Killer Instinct being cheap. I don't see it.
I'm going to laugh my ass off when that stupid fighting game. I'm sorry. I know what's his name.
And then they use a glorified Raspberry Pi 4 to run Killer Instinct, and it runs like crap on the cab. Can you imagine?
Chris from Killer Arcade Games. He has a great channel called Killer Arcade Games.
Yeah,
Chris, and he loves Killer Instinct. But I'm sorry, that game is just, there's too many combos. It's not. It doesn't. I don't even like. I've never liked it, and I don't understand the whole hype around it. All of a sudden, everyone loves Killer Instinct. We can't wait for a Killer Instinct. But you don't hear about that game for like 16, 17 years. No one has spoken those two words, Killer Instinct, in like over almost 2 decades. But all of a sudden, OneUp is announcing Killer Instinct, and everyone is going crazy.
And
where was all this?
And it sucks. And it sucks because you can't, because not only is it an awful game, but you can't even run it. Traditionally, you can run every other arcade game from that era.
I can't wait for them to release that game, and it's going to run 5 frames per second.
Oh,
I can't wait. I can't wait because they don't test it.
They're going to be talking. There's going to be 10,000 YouTube videos about the lag and the Killer Instinct cab.
Joseph, they don't test their games. That's evident when they release Miss Pac-Man with a crappy screen, with a MK Legacy. You can't even see the screen, let alone your hand hits the side of the control panel. The Street Fighter Legacy is also, it's unplayable. These cabs are unplayable. They're not testing it. No. So they're not testing Killer Instinct either. And then that Simpsons game, they put bowling in it, and then they took it out. I wonder why they took it out, because they didn't test bowling. I bet you that didn't run either.
I bet you it didn't run at all. Like it was probably like really, really lagging. And really going crazy. And Katsuka wants to know, Zohar, what do you play on the next generation system?
My God, I play so much. Okay. I love first-person shooters. So I play Battlefield 5 a lot on the Xbox. And then on PlayStation 5, I play... I just beat Ratchet and Clank. That was a very cool game, Ratchet and Clank. And a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. I don't know if anyone in the chat knows that, but it's a multiplayer. I like multiplayer online shooters so I can talk shit to 12-year-olds. It's fun.
That's
fun.
So funny. Yeah. That's so funny.
I like team.
Now, do you play all the current, like all the current Mortal Kombats, like Mortal Kombat?
No, I hate it. I can't stand it. I think
they're not good.
I think they're just. At this point, it's not even a game anymore. It's just very obnoxious.
It's like a movie.
It's
like a movie with a few cutscenes, a few breaks in between where you play.
It's not even a fighting game anymore. You just you press one button and then you have to see a 3-minute cutscene.
3-minute cutscene. Right. It's a film.
Give me a break.
It's a film done with like polygons. And Sweet Sonia G says, "Hey Joey, Katsuka, Neil, Igor, Zohar, and everyone else. Just stopping in for a minute. Have a great stream." Yeah, she's busy doing some stuff tonight.
It'd be funny if Sonia trolls me live.
Now that would be hilarious.
And I say, end the stream, Joey. I'm just kidding, Joe. I'm just kidding, Sonia.
No, she's not gonna do that. She's actually doing some stuff tonight. So
I know. I hope she knows I'm joking.
To Die For says MVSX got better PCBs and is much more powerful. Chris says I have both.
God, I'm so red in this. I just noticed how red my.
No, you don't look red. You actually look very clear. It's awesome. And Neo says, if you love Neo Geo, MVSX is a no-brainer. Absolutely. And he also says, if you want an arcade at home, you don't have an arcade without an MVSX. I couldn't agree more. He says, I love Rainbow Six. He's agreeing with you, Zohar. And To Die For says, if it wasn't for none of these fighting, if it wasn't for that for Street Fighter, none of these fighting games would even exist.
Oh, I have another example how OneUp doesn't do their due diligence and they don't test their games. Did you see that T2 cab where those guns are flush flush against the screen.
They're fun. Isn't that where
What are they doing?
Where John D said you need to take your meds? Like, look, John D, that cabinet looks horrible. That cabinet looks
Joseph,
like it's gonna be
they
garbage.
They just slapped on artwork and didn't care how the user experience was going to be. I guarantee you that game is going to be unplayable. If those two guns are the way they are, flushed against the screen, it's not even in the middle of the screen. How are you supposed to play that game? And if those guns come out, it's not even T2 anymore. That's the whole T2 experience, is that it's stationary.
Right.
The fact that you have to remove the gun, that's it. It's over. It's something else entirely. Don't get me started on the vibration. I guarantee you the vibration is not going to be as like clicky, as powerful.
And To Die For says, okay, guys, great show. Gotta work. I'll watch replay later. Okay, thank you, Bobby Vu. To Die For. Yeah. Oh, my God, I love that guy.
You know, when he does it To Die For, does he do, because I know he goes clean like a mother, yeah, and then he goes To Die For?
Yeah,
or is it just To Die For? I don't know if it's To Die For or if it's To Die For.
I think that's how he does it. Yeah,
Die like that for.
And
okay.
he's so awesome. There should be. I want To Die For. I want To Die For T-shirts, and I want a Bobby Vu action figure, y'all. I think we need that.
Cool.
Katsuko said,
an action figure has like you press like a little button and the wings come out.
And he just flies all over wherever. And we got Katsuka says Zohar traumatizing kids. It's Street Fighter 4 and 5 are the best fighting games ever. Oh yeah, Marvel versus Capcom 2.
Block him. Block that guy.
But Marvel versus Capcom 2 is okay, but I don't think it'll ever. I think that'll be another one that'll never get a cab, because Arcade 1-Up will not be able to do it justice. It won't run right.
I'm curious. Can you do a poll to see what if they think Big Blue is worth it, or maybe type one in the chat, kind of a deal.
Type one in the chat if you think that Big Blue is worth the money. If you guys think Big Blue is worth the money, type 1 in the chat. If you don't think it's worth the money, type 0. I want to see how many people actually think.
Me too. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out in 30 minutes, right? I'm just kidding,
right. Exactly. We'll find out in 30 minutes. But I'm caught up on the.
I'm just joking.
Katsuka says -1. So
wow, that was fast.
And Dorth Blocken says 0. And Rich says 0, so that's 2 zeros and 1 -1. So people,
you know what I'm concerned about? It's a Wi-Fi machine, but that's completely pointless. Nobody's going to buy this machine. Who am I going to play with?
That's an interesting question,
right?
I wonder if the MVSX could be updated to have Wi-Fi.
I'm sure they can.
I mean,
maybe have a little peripheral. You know, peripheral. Why can't I say? Why can't I say that word?
You just plug it in via the USB in the back?
Yeah, exactly. And that'll be like a little Wi-Fi antenna, and that's it. We play online. That
would be kind of cool. That would be
a game changer too.
Really great. Oh my God. Imagine being able to play like Fatal Fury over Wi-Fi. Oh, that'd be so much fun.
50 games over Wi-Fi. Jesus
50
Christ.
games over Wi-Fi. Capcom versus SNK2 would be my ultimate cab. And Neo says, Arcade offers a great build, online compatibility, which any cabinet that is released from now on should offer, and has a storage to expand your library. Yeah, but like you were saying, the problem with Arcade is the games themselves right now, right? Like they don't offer enough, variety in terms of stuff that you can't play elsewhere for that type of unit.
Yeah,
that's really the issue. Like I think Arcade is cool too, but I'm not going to buy an Arcade.
I think Jong is the most
to play what we
kindest, the nicest, kindest, most compassionate, amazing heart guy, and his product is obviously better than all the products right now. It's very, very future proof. Quality is great.
It could
Sticks are
probably
great.
play. It could probably run Killer Instinct very well.
Yeah, and the screen is bigger and it's better. It's just for me, uh, I need specific games on it, and he's not there yet. I'm sure he'll get there eventually.
Well, that's what I'm
But
wondering. Who's
yeah,
to say that he won't eventually get
he will.
licenses for stuff like Mortal Kombat,
No, he
Street
will.
Fighter, and when that happens, you and
Yeah,
I
there's
will
no
be
more.
all about it. We'll be like, okay,
Exactly.
game over. Because
Well,
now,
not Mortal Kombat, because I'll have Bobby Voo's
yeah,
Mortal
well, yeah,
Kombat.
you'll have
Nothing's gonna come near that.
that's where this is where we are now when it's like with Mortal Kombat. We both have, Mortal Kombat dedicated
Yeah.
machines that will always
I don't
have
have it
because of
yet.
Bobby, but you're going to be getting yours.
I
And
don't have it yet.
oh, bro, when
don't have
Johnny
it
Cage jumps off the side of the panel and punches you
In the nuts.
and live on just go poof. Like, oh
What if
no,
what if Bobby Voo just punches me in the nuts?
there's a
As soon as-
possibility.
It'd be an
Oh,
honor.
And look at this. There is something to be said about a licensed product. I agree 100%, because we can talk all we want about custom-made arcade machines because we are big fans of custom-made machines because of people like Bobby, right? But
Yeah.
when it gets down to it, an officially licensed product like the Neo Geo MVSX, that's why we keep saying if you got to have one that's an officially licensed cab that you want, then look no further than the MVSX. It's officially licensed and it gives you 50 games.
I'm happy with I'm just so happy with it.
There'll never be a better
I'm
deal.
so happy with it.
There will
I was
never
so
be a
happy
better
when
deal.
I got it.
Yeah.
I was so happy when I got it. I remember waiting outside of UPS, and it had like a GPS tracker on my phone, and I just didn't want to miss it. And it came in like 2 different boxes, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't have to.
Because you got the riser.
Yeah, I got the base with it, and I thought, wait, I don't have to. When I opened it, it was in another box, and I opened it, and it was already assembled. The bar top was already done.
And it's perfect.
I'm like, fuck yeah, I don't have to do anything. Just
you don't
play.
you don't have to spend like 3.5 hours assembling it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And look at how right behind you have a perfectly red stool to go with your MVSX.
Yeah.
That's the way to be, man. I mean,
And I may have a big blue right next to it.
you're still debating about that, huh? Well, if nothing else, you'll be able to have that Street Fighter match with John D finally.
No, he won't. That guy can't stand me. You saw what he said on my Facebook. Take meds. Come on, man. That guy wants me dead. Give me a break. And you know what? He promised to challenge me back in like August 2020. And then I messaged him. Come on, let's do it. Like every 2 weeks. I'm like, come on, man. Are we doing? Yeah. I've just been busy. We've just been too busy. That guy's been avoiding me because he knows deep down I would destroy him.
Do it for It's like come on, John.
I
do
would
it
destroy
for
him in
charity,
Street Fighter.
Man. Have a Street Fighter match with Zohar for charity.
He can't have an MK guy beat a Capcom guy. He's all Capcom and I'm all Mortal Kombat. There's no way he'll let me win.
But he works for One Up in there, and they have licenses for everything. So it's not like it's I don't know.
One Up is the wrong name, but okay.
Yeah,
I call them something else.
Yeah,
I love John D. I have nothing against John D. Nothing. I'm allowed to hate where he works. I love him, but I cannot stand where he works. That's okay, right? I'm allowed to differentiate between the two.
Yeah, you are. Okay. And you know what's funny is that we can talk about all that, and then we would be remiss if we don't mention at games, which we mentioned a little bit earlier when I talked about the fact that if you have an at games Legends Gamer or a Legends Gamer Pro or mini Legends Mini, and you get console, you get CoinOps X. You've got basically everything you need if you want to just be able to play arcade games. Because the sticks and buttons, it's even got a trackball on it.
Yeah.
Well, the Legends Gamer Pro does. I mean, you don't need anything else if you just want to play arcade games.
Exactly.
I mean, checkmate when it comes for ad games. They pretty much they've conquered the whole market But what
Yeah.
is Zohar? What's all this focus on pinball? I'm confused.
You know what?
I've never been a big
Oh my
pinball
God,
guy, so I'm trying to think.
we are so similar. I don't when there's a stream about pinball, I'm never on it. I just don't. So I'm not into it, and a lot of people give me so much shit about it. And I try, and I'm very open-minded, and I really try. I try. I just don't get it. And Brad O'Connell is like, he's in every single stream, right? He loves pinball. I'm just not into it. I don't know what it is. I'm just not into it. I'm just not into it. I almost
Yeah,
bought
me
the Star
either.
Wars pinball, and I did get the Star Wars pinball just because it was Star Wars. I was a fan of Star Wars, and the monitor broke the third day or something.
I got Star Wars pinball, but I got it on virtual reality. I got the virtual reality with
on Oculus.
and Oculus, and that's fine. That's fun. But that's as
Yeah.
far as pinball goes for me. I have no desire to have a pinball machine and to be sitting here.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's like
It's very
like,
repetitive, I think.
it seems like that's all, but that seems like that's all. I kind of feel like At Games is like this. We conquered the arcade market already. Y'all don't need nothing else. You got everything you need for the arcade.
Yeah.
So that's why they allow things like CoinOp X, because now they don't have to do anything else with the arcade.
You
The
know what
arcade
they're
is
doing?
good.
You know what I hear? I'm not gonna say who I heard it from. Well, I didn't hear from anyone. I feel like this is just the next. Is this common sense? Probably. They're
Right.
probably gonna release a racing cab, a dedicated racing cab, a multi-cade racing cab. Can you imagine like 100, 200, racing games on one cab? It's gonna be crazy. It's
And
not just Outrun.
Neil agrees with us, man. He says, I hate that pinball crap.
Wow. Okay. Good.
Yeah. See, the screen's pretending to be a pinball. It's stupid. And I thought it was just me. No, it's not just you.
No, I don't
It's
like
not
it.
just you. I'm with you. I have no desire to have that. Like, I don't even like the only reason that I was even like considering it on At Games is because they got the option where you can go in and you can purchase and just download the a table directly to the puck. So I'm like, maybe I'll do that and try one out just to see what it's like. But I'm like, I really don't have much of a desire to do that. I mean, every once in a while I might want to play a pinball game, but it's not that serious to where I want to have a dedicated like pinball machine. It's just kind of, although Bobby does do some nice stuff. Bobby's got the thing that he set up where he did like a pinball machine where you can download all those different options and you can like play like thousands of different tables. And once again, Bobby Vu for the win. But as far as pinball machines go, as far as I'm concerned, I just don't care. It's not that serious.
A lot of people think there's like a lot of skill involved, and they're really into it. And it's all about leaderboards and who gets the most points. I get that part, but if I don't care about high scores and I don't care about I just can't look at a screen. I can't stare at like a goddamn ball for an hour going back and forth, and it's at the same level. The level doesn't change. It's just the same level.
The only thing that changes is some of the sounds when you hit certain areas.
Wow, Brad is gonna kill us if he was in the chat. A lot of people love it so much that they're gonna get.
I don't mind the virtual reality, because in virtual reality with like Star Wars pinball, if you play like the Mandalorian table and stuff, you got the Mandalorian walking around, and you got Baby Yoda floating around and stuff. You got some cute stuff.
You don't really like the pinball part. You just like the atmosphere.
Like the atmosphere. Yeah, the atmosphere of playing it. You're playing it in this like Star Wars like atmosphere, and that's cool. But as far as like the actual pinball mechanics themselves, I've never been a big pinball guy. Yeah. I feel like we've kind of lost something when it comes to, switching from arcades to jumping into pinball, because pinball is a separate genre. I mean, do you have the At Games guns on pre-order?
No.
For the shooting games, I don't really
like shooting games either.
Yeah, they're not that great either. That's
I don't like shooting games because I play like multiplayer online games with and it's way more realistic. The only type of arcade games that I like are are like the beat 'em ups, the platform, the fighting games.
All the stuff we get to play now that we're good with.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And it's like and that's the whole point. We've got that already. So like if you're in the market for something and you don't have it, I hope the message that people take away from the show that we've done tonight, that we're doing tonight, is get an MVSX. If you like
so funny.
If you like fighting games, if you like fighting games, if you like that kind of arcade stuff and you want some decent sticks and you want bang for your buck, just buy an MVSX. You're not.
And if you don't know how to mod and you have no idea how to mod like me, don't worry about it, because this has a USB and you can soft mod 1,000 games into it for educational purposes, of course.
And it's beautiful.
For educational
and it's a beautiful thing. Educational purposes.
Of course.
And you can play The Simpsons. And you don't have to buy an arcade one-up $900 cabinet.
Don't say that.
I just
make enemies. You're gonna make enemies.
It's hard not to say it though, because the reality is that you want that Simpsons cab. They advertised Simpsons bowling, and what was the deal with that? They announced it, and then a couple days later they pretended like they didn't announce it.
Oh my God, Jeff Rainwater. I don't know if you know who he is from Rainwater Games. That guy is so hilarious. He made an entire timeline on P-Dub's channel. I think it was either P-Dub's channel or Super Game Room Dudes. Oh no, Your Average Gamer, that channel. And he had an entire timeline of Simpsons. When it was announced, then it was taken off. Then it was announced and taken off. Then P-Dub's announced, but then he was told to take it off. Then it's back. Then the FCC with bowling. Then that's out. It's like, it's hard to explain, but it's so funny. I'm going to find the timeline and I'll message you after it. I'll try to find it. It's so funny what he did.
Okay. And Neo says this is not a paid advertisement for the MVSX. Look, Zohar and I are just big MVSX fans, and we're telling it like it is. We're not lying. I mean, because we've all owned arcade one-up machines.
I've had three.
I'm gonna let everybody know about the arcade one-up that I had. I had a Pac-Man 40th anniversary. Had past tense, and I didn't sell it. I didn't sell it. I didn't take it apart. I didn't bash it. I gave it away to somebody who loves Pac-Man a lot more than I do. So let's just put it that way. I gave it to someone as a gift. I gifted the 40th anniversary Pac-Man that I had away. And you know what? I don't regret it one bit, because it's somewhere where someone who that's what they like to play. That's what they like, the Pac-Man more than me. And I will say this, arcade one-up, you couldn't get me on anything. As big of a Mortal Kombat fan as I am, you couldn't even sell me on your Midway Legacy cab, because you messed it up by adding all those goofy other games to it that makes no sense. I understand, but what you have to remember is arcade one-up, you're not a multicade company. Okay? Yeah. You're not. Can you how about this, Zohar? Can they do this? Can they do this for us? Can they cut the games, and let's say they make a Mortal Kombat cabinet and they just put Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3? Can they slash the price? Can they cut the price in half? Can they say, we're not going to give you 12 games, we're just going to give you the 3 games, but instead of it being $4.99, $5.99, we're going to make it $99.99. Can we do that? If you really want to,
too late. Too late, because the faith is gone, the respect is gone. Every single cab that they've released, there's something wrong with it. I'll tell you my experience real quick with one-up. Street Fighter 2 was my very first one in Walmart when it was $2.99. Came home, it was much smaller than I thought, because there was no advertisement. I was just walking through Walmart and I saw it. And I thought, oh my God, Street Fighter for $300? Are they crazy? This is a great price. I'm going to have an arcade machine in my house. This is a great price. And then I came and I thought, whoa, this is mini. This is like so small. I thought when I built it, it would be much bigger, but obviously. Anyway, the stick broke. And then I go, okay, let me return it. Got another one. Then the PCB broke, like it wouldn't turn on. Then for like maybe 6-7 months, I'm like, I'm done with 1-ups. It's the second time it broke. This is junk. I'm done. Then they announced like a Mortal Kombat. I'm like, what? They're releasing a Mortal Kombat? Maybe that was just a fluke with a Street Fighter. Let me get this Mortal Kombat because this is going to be awesome. Screen after the 5th time, like there was a line, like a green line. I'm like, is every single product they're releasing junk? I mean, what is this? Am I the unluckiest person in the world?
They go to the junkyard and they get their monitors from the junkyard.
I don't understand.
And if you're lucky to get one that actually works, you're good, right?
And then after that, I got Miss Pac-Man. I'm like, they can't mess up Miss Pac-Man. There's no graphics there. It's a very simple game. No, they can mess that up too. Completely blurry. And then I'm like, okay, maybe they won't mess up a Star Wars franchise. They mess up a MK franchise, but maybe they won't mess up a Star Wars franchise. Guess what? Monitor broke after the 3rd time. It wouldn't turn on. I heard all the sounds. I heard all the little lights and whatever on the big monitor, but the top, it wouldn't turn on. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. And here I am thinking about a Big Blue. I must be out of my mind.
I love your enthusiasm for the Big Blue, though. That's why I called this episode Big Blue. I was thinking
I just love Street Fighter. I just love Street Fighter.
I'm like this. We got all these options, and this is why I say if you want a multicade, and let's be honest, everybody should want a multicade, except avoid the arcade 1-up legacy cabs, because they add a bunch of games together that have absolutely nothing to do with each other and have no reason to be connected. You don't
know what they're gonna do.
Be able to play Paperboy on Mortal Kombat.
You know what they're gonna do, and they're not gonna have any choice in the matter. They're going to eventually go the multicade route. NVSX is multicade, At Games is multicade, iArcade is multicade. I guarantee you, they're gonna just say, you know what, we can't compete. There's no more room. People are not buying our products because their house is filled. We just have to go the multicade route, and that's it. And that's what's going to end up happening. They have no choice.
People that can collect arcade 1-ups, their places look like a Hoarders episode. That's what ends up happening because you've got arcade 1-up after arcade 1-up. You're not playing the games. You're not playing those games. I mean, let's be honest. If you have a multicade like the MVSX, or you have a multicade like something that Bobby Vu builds you, where you have games on it and you're able to play pretty much any arcade game you want. Here's the thing: you've got what you need. It's a space saver. Space is at a premium. So why do you need why do you need to buy all these dedicated arcades and make your place look like Hoarders when you actually have to move because you've got too many arcade 1-ups? And I don't even want to talk about the people that bought that big Buck Hunter machine. I'm like,
not even move. People are remodeling their homes right now.
I know.
They're spending thousands and thousands of dollars to add an extra room just so they could get more. This is sick.
And Neil wants to know, Zohar, with your experience, if it were mine, I would no longer support the company that was responsible. That's very, very true. This is why Zohar and I are so jaded towards 1-up.
It's because I'm out of my mind, Chris, and I have nothing better to do, and that's why I like torturing myself, I think.
There's a market. I agree, Neil, that there's a market for dedicated cabinets. But if you're going to get a dedicated cabinet, it better be the most high quality dedicated cabinet out there. Like, what I don't understand is, okay, how about this? Here's an idea. Mortal Kombat. What's coming up? What anniversary is coming up? Mortal Kombat,
please. 35th? They're going to botch the hell out of that.
They come 30th, up, but this is not what they're going to do, but this is what they should do. If you want to celebrate that anniversary for Mortal Kombat, you hashtag pay Pacina. You basically you do the Mortal Kombat 1 aesthetic. You do the Mortal Kombat 1 arcade artwork, and the only game you include on this, you include the original Mortal Kombat 1 PCB, and you literally release just Mortal Kombat 1, and you make it
MK1?
MK1, and you make it the most beautiful Mortal Kombat aesthetic arcade kit for a dedicated cabinet. That's what you, if you want to do a dedicated cabinet, do a dedicated cabinet,
You
but
mean
do
like
it
with
correctly.
hapsticks? Like with
Yes.
hapsticks and a nice
Yes.
screen?
Hapsticks, a nice
and just
screen.
have one game on it.
Basically, yeah.
You know
Basically,
they'll never do
dedicated.
that. You know why?
Dedicated.
You know why they'll never do that, right?
They won't sell enough of them.
No, it's because they don't want to take the time to go above and beyond when people are buying cabs, idiots like me, buying cabs for $5.99, $6.99, $7.99. Why should they go above and beyond when the 99% majority of people are going to buy it anyway? They're not going to spend an extra cent to make me happy ever. They're never going to make me happy.
And there's a reason why At Games and II Arcade still haven't killed the industry. That's true. That's true. I will agree with that. And he says, Zod, that's crazy talk. I agree. But when you say dedicated cab, when you say you use the word dedicated cab, that's what you're talking about, right? A cabinet for a game for one specific title that you will play all the time, that you just want to have that cabinet because you love that aesthetic, you love that look. It's like you and I, Zohar, with our Mortal Kombat 1 fetish. We just have to have that. We just have to see his face. We have to have that arcade. We have to have that machine.
It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen officially.
They hate us.
That's the thing. And Neil makes a great point, just like you did. He said, as long as people pay, why change? Exactly. He says, I'm talking licensed, dedicated to a franchise. Yeah, that's a good point. So like with Street Fighter, you've got, you get what, like 4 or 5 Street Fighter games in one of those cabinets. There's been enough variations of Street Fighter over the years, Street Fighter 2, that you could dedicate an entire cabinet to Street Fighter 2. I don't understand why don't just make with Street Fighter, why they don't, when they released on like PlayStation and Xbox, when they released that Street Fighter anniversary, I think I got it over here. The Street Fighter anniversary PS4, and it has all these games.
Why? I'll tell you why.
One cabinet.
I'll tell you, it's a very simple answer, Joseph, because they won't make enough money if they do that. If they release one cab with 3 games, and then another cab with Alpha, and then another cab with just Street Fighter 3, and then another cab with just Street Fighter 2, and then another cab with just Marvel vs. Cap, that's so much money for them. Why would they cannibalize themselves by just having one cab, making us happy, and having all like 25
because
they won't make enough money
for 2 reasons. Unico is doing it and they're wildly successful, and because space is at a premium and people are running out of space.
They won't make enough money if they do one cab and make us happy with every single Street
Fighter. So everybody's gonna either move house or remodel. just for Arcade 1-Up
on the next episode of Hoarders.
Everybody except you and I, Zohar, we're like, no, we're done, we're good. But these people,
I'm more than done. When I get Bobby Vu's machine, I'm gonna vanish from the face of the earth. No one's gonna even. I'm not going on any Facebook stream. I'm gonna disappear. It's just gonna be me and my job. And when I come home, I'm playing MK. I'm not even gonna answer my phone.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And Chris here says, and put the best Mortal Kombat game ever, MK Armageddon. LOL.
How dare you block him?
Oh my God, that was horrible. That was horrible. That was a horrible thing to say. Even as a joke, that's not even funny. Sean Franklin says hi, and Neil's laughing, says shots fired. Look, we shoot all kinds of shots at Arcade 1-Up. I'm curious.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm curious what their next product will be. I know it's the monitor, but I'm so curious with all the success that Unico has. What is their next cab? I know they're going to do another cab. I know it. They're not just going to stop at this. There has to be another one, and I kind of want a Capcom. You know, they could do it. They could really fucking do it.
You should save that space you got next to the MVSX.
That's what I'm saying.
For Unico's next cab, man. Let's be real.
If they had a Unico, a blue one to go with the red, blue and red, with another 50 Capcom games like right next to it, are you kidding me?
And Kongs Are Us has a very
sir.
special message for you and me. He says, Sunday morning, guys, you both need to come on with me for Bobby's big MK reveal for Zohar.
Oh, Sunday morning.
This is happening sooner than I expected, but I'm all in. I will be there, B Kong. Thank you for letting us know live on this stream. This is great. So
I was going to drive over there. I was going to drive over there Sunday morning.
Well, now we know what's going to happen. Definitely.
Okay, I guess I won't drive there. Then
you got to drive there. You got to drive there.
I mean, if the stream is going to be in the morning, okay, so that means I have to drive. I'll drive after in traffic. It's okay.
Neo says, I would love that. And Neo says, I helped design a Unico Big Blue before 1UP's announcement on Console Kit's show a while back.
Oh, yeah. Mason Conrad did that, like, Photoshop thing.
Yeah. And
I remember.
Hugo Allen Stevens shouts us out, Zohar. Zod and Zohar, cameras on. Yes. This is a big show we're doing right now. And Neo says it came out great. Neo, I have no doubt, but Unico is one of the best companies in the world. If you guys put out a Capcom Big Blue or something similar, I'm all in. I'm all in.
Please.
50 games? Come on, man.
Chris, please. Do you want me to go on my knees? Do you want me to go on my knees live? I'll go.
God,
I'll go right in the middle of the living room. I'm going to go live. I mean,
and this Chris over here says he was joking. He was joking about the MK Armageddon. I know you were joking. Nobody likes that game. And Kongs R Us says, I'll send you the details. It'll be a virtual reveal for now. Nice. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, me and Zohar will definitely be there. I listen. You got to understand something. This is going to be monumental. This is going to be a life-changing event. So I am not going to miss it for anything in the world.
How early on Sunday? On Sunday?
He usually does his stuff like, I don't know, mid-morning. I don't know what time. Hopefully, Kong says he's going to send us the details.
Okay, cool.
And Neil says, Mason did it. And Hugo says, I made some progress with my script after last night's stream, Zod. There's hope for you too. Hey, man, good luck on that. I hope your script turns out great. This is what it's all about, man, how we inspire each other. We all inspire each other to do greater things, and it's a wonderful, wonderful situation. And Neil says, I didn't spend any time talking about Bobby Vu and everyone in the modding community, but they bring life to a lot of
true.
Absolutely, they do. I have to say, between Bobby Vu, B Kong, all these great people in the modding community, you have to understand what's the main thing that people buy these Goofy 2-game 1UPs for.
I like how you call it Goofy 2-game. That's exactly what it is.
They buy these Goofy 2-game toys to mod them.
Yeah.
How many times has Retro Ralph put a Raspberry Pi in an arcade 1UP?
Many times.
I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, and you don't see a lot of, because of the high-low hack, you don't see a lot of people opening up the MVSX and putting a Pi in the MVSX. I'm never going to do that. I got the high-low hack. Why do I need to do anything?
Exactly.
It's a software mod. It's so simple. You plug your USB into the back and you're good to go.
God, I was so happy when I had that high-low.
What more does anybody need? Like when it comes to an arcade, you're like Neil says, trash out there. They turn trash into gold. I don't know how they do it. We were talking, Zohar and I have had a brilliant concept where we were thinking about these new 2-player countercades that are coming out.
Oh my God.
Tell that story, Zohar, because that to me is, go ahead and share it, bro, because I think it's perfect.
You mean like the video that I want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if one of my favorite movies is Office Space. So I don't know if people in the chat have seen that movie, but it's a cult classic. If you haven't, you need to go see it. I mean, there's no brainer. After the stream, go see Office Space. But there's a scene in that movie where these three really disgruntled workers who hate their jobs, actually they hate their lives too, and they take out a printer and they smash the living shit out of that printer. And it's just such a funny scene. If you could even YouTube it. It's hilarious. And I wanted to recreate that, kind of do a parody and like have, instead of a printer, obviously, buy the MK2 countercade, put it like in the middle of the yard and have myself, Bobby, and Zod destroy the living shit out of it because they, desecrate and insult this franchise long enough. I've had enough. So I just wanted to just beat the living shit out of this fucking MK countercade, because how insulting is it? They're putting an 8-inch screen with little tweeters as speakers. It's a joke.
a two-player countercade, no less.
I want to smash it.
They don't even have the decency to just make it one player. They make it two players so that it's just like a complete,
looks like a paper airplane.
Abomination.
You know what? It looks like a paper airplane. Like I want to take it off a balcony and
it's got wings. It's got wings. It can fly.
So I want to see if it flies.
It can fly. And Kongs R Us says it'll be 8:45 a.m. Pacific-ish.
Nice.
Mrs. Kongs R Us will be there too. Awesome. That's reason enough to come on there. Mrs. Kongs R Us is super cool.
And you know what? I'm gonna look even worse than I do now on a Sunday morning. So be prepared. Have filters on if you can, because I'm gonna look even more tired than I do now.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Listen, you're gonna be like those old movies where you see like a little kid at Christmas in those old movies.
Yeah.
And they're getting like the gift that they've always wanted their whole life. That's what it's gonna be like.
I don't know. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go crazy.
Mad Dad's Gaming says, Zohar, so I am not going to be playing you now. LOL. I don't know what that means.
Oh, because he said he's gonna get the big blue also.
Oh.
So we'll go online.
Okay.
You know what? Knowing me, I'll probably get it. Because I'm just
You'll get it and then you'll sell it when Unico announces their Capcom cap.
God, I want them to make it like this fall. At least announce it. Chris, if you hear me, Chris, just announce it for like next year. And I'll wait a whole year just for that cap, and I won't get the big blue.
Yeah, if you just announce it, I'm all in too.
Yeah,
I'm all in too.
I'll cancel my pre-order now in front of you.
I'll sell my Play Minimal Mortal Kombat machine that I put a Pi 4 in. I'll turn around and sell that just so I could get the Capcom version of Unico's next cap. If it happens, oh my God,
power. Chris,
I'm all in.
You have a lot of power over there. You have a lot of power.
I'm all in, dude.
Announce it 2 years ahead of time. I'll wait 2 years. I don't care.
You could just call me and Zohar like the prime Unico fanboys, because that's what we are right now.
I'll sign an NDA. I'll sign an NDA. I won't say a word.
You got it. And Mad Dad's Gaming says, "Are you going to be doing the printer things?" Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't
That's
wait.
What that's going to be. That's going to be this. Oh, that's going to be that like you said, that video will probably get 1 million views.
But you know what? At the same time, Joseph, I kind of don't want to give $200 to OneUp.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, F them.
We can have everybody in the community chip in a few dollars so we can get it and destroy it.
I don't even want to take a few dollars from the community. That's just a waste of money.
Right. Neo says, "What's your soundtrack? What song do we play at the beginning?" I don't know. I think we should recreate the Office Space scene. I think we should. It
has to be the same music. It has to be the same music.
The Ghetto Boys. Yeah. And Neo says, "I hear you." He's answering us on the Nostradamus announcements. Yeah, God, dude.
Just make my life already, Chris. Just make my life already.
Listen,
I need that blue MVSX next to a red MVSX, and then I could.
Then your life is made, because you're about to get the greatest Mortal Kombat machine of all time. You'll have that. Then you'll get the blue MVSX to go with the red one.
It's over.
It's over with. The hobby is done.
The hobby is done. The hobby is done. I'm done. That's it.
We don't have to care when it comes out from there on out. It's
You know
over
what? I
with.
may even sell the coin ops. I may even get rid of the Legend Gamer Pro too. As good as it is, I may get rid of it.
Yeah,
Just
you
because
could.
because what do I need that for if I have, all those
every
games on
every
them?
cabinet. You have like all your cabinets.
Yeah, I don't need more than one multicade. Really, you just need one multicade.
And Mad Dad's Gaming says just mod it as you said and extend it. LOL.
I don't know how to mod. I'm stupid.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. I don't like this. I don't like this opening up cabinets and messing around with the innards of the cabinet. And then if you break something, then you feel even dumber. But for me, like the Play Minimal was my first mod job where I opened up the Play Minimal. You remember that little cab. I open it up and I basically, because it's got an orange pie in it.
It came with a worst. Oh my God, I remember. It came with a worst.
The orange pie kept freezing. It kept
glitching
out. So I basically I said, you know what? I'm going to put a Raspberry Pi 4 in it. So that's what I did. I tweaked around, messed around with some stuff, put the Pi 4 in there, and now it works like a charm.
That's what I should have done. I should have done that.
It's great. It's great. And it looks good. It's still a nice cute little cab. It's a small size, so it's not like it's something that I got to get rid of or anything. Yeah. But I would actually sell it because I modded it, so it runs a lot better than it did when I got it. So I would sell it, and I would use the money to get the Capcom Blue MVSX, if that's what,
or CVSX, or what would we call it,
or whatever they call
CVS.
it.
CVS, no, that's CVS Pharmacy. Don't call it CVS because that's CVS Pharmacy, Chris.
Oh my God! And yeah, there he goes. Capcom CPSX Arcade.
Just do it already. Life is short, Chris. Life is so short.
What did you think of that little?
The Delta variant is coming soon. We're all gonna die. Life is too short. Just make it happen already.
Zohar, what did you think of that little Capcom cabinet that came out? The one that came out of Japan, and it had a bunch of Street Fighter games. And
which one?
And it was a little teeny tiny. I can't remember what it was even called, but it looked like it was called Tron, wasn't it called Tron? And it had like it had like a big, like a big bubbly looking screen, and then it had Street Fighter games.
I think Retro Ralph had
had one.
Yeah, that was actually cute.
It was a cute, nice. It was a cute little thing, but I was like, but it was so expensive. It was like, nah.
Yeah, it was expensive. I remember that part.
Expensive, but that's like the part that stands out the most. How expensive it was. Like when Ralph was talking about it, I was like, well, no, but
it is cool though. It was
cool, cute though.
But it's not worth the price, I don't think.
And Neo says it would be a lovely thing indeed. Neo, seriously, if you announce it, man, I'll talk about it at least once on every single show that I do.
I'll make a channel. I'll make a channel, Chris. Okay, I'll create a channel.
Well, because like you said earlier, this is not paid content for MVSX. No, this isn't. But we honestly both know that Unico is where it's at, and it's like Zohar said, you guys are like the Nintendo of the home arcade market, where you're doing whatever you want, and people are loving you for it. And quite frankly, Arcade 1-Up had their chance, and
you should retitle your stream and change the thumbnail and just call it Unico Forever.
I think I'm going to.
Because we're rarely talking about the Big Blue, because honestly it's not even worth discussing it.
So Zohar's canceled the Big Blue like 3 times during the show.
Not yet.
And Mad Dad Gaming says, "Sorry, I'm a modder. My bad. It's okay, man. I modded. I did mod. Though. I modded my Play Minimal. I actually went in there. I did it, and it works great. So modding is cool. Modding is an option, but I'm just as glad that I never had to open up my MVSX. I'm telling you right now, because I was always afraid. I'm like, I could put a Pi 4 in my MVSX, and then I'll have all these games, and everything will run great. And I'm like, I don't want to do that, though. I don't want to mod nothing, dude. I don't want to mod nothing.
We shouldn't have to mod.
I don't want to open nothing.
We're paying so much money as it is. There should be no reason to mod anything. You know what I mean?
Retro Station. Oh boy. Definitely appreciate the love and support. Hey, you got it. You got it, Neo.
Dude, it's well deserved, man.
It's well deserved. I mean, it's the most, it is one of the most beautiful cabinets on the market. It comes
It's my favorite
fully,
cab.
comes
100%
fully as
favorite.
fully assembled. I mean, you just
It's 100% without a doubt. It's my favorite cab.
and
My
I like
favorite cab.
and I like the original buttons and sticks. I kind of got mad when all these YouTubers that were hyping up the MVSX back in the day but before it was like official, they were all talking about it and they were like talking about it like putting out all these videos, and then they did all their reviews, and one of their biggest criticisms was, well, the buttons and sticks are okay. They have a lot in common with one-up sticks.
No way.
And I'm like,
not even
and I'm like,
close.
what? I'm like, what?
Not even close.
What machine are you playing? Because if you're you're not playing the MVSX that I have, because the MVSX that I have, the sticks are 10,000 times better than the arcade one-up.
Joseph, remember when it was first revealed, we didn't even know that it was real. Everyone thought it was fake. You know, everyone thought was like, this isn't real, this isn't real, this is not happening. Because we couldn't even fathom that something like this would even exist, because it's just too good to be true,
With
right?
50 games, yeah.
Yeah, and everyone thought, oh, it's fake. And then I think Retro Ralph was the first person to have a video, and his thumbnail was like, it's real. And I was like, what? It's real? And then everyone started copying him and saying, oh, look, it's legit. This is legit. This is legit. Because at first, no one even thought that it would exist, because it's like a myth, almost like a myth, you know, but it's real.
I mean, it's 100% real, and it's one of the most beautiful things you can own if you're an arcade enthusiast.
Yeah, definitely change your thumbnail, dude. Because
this
whole discussion. This is and
Unico forever. That's what
Chris was on. Chris was on.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do Unico forever.
Yeah.
We're gonna do Unico forever.
Or you think of the title. You think of the title. But
no, I actually like Unico forever, and it's cool. I could put Unico forever featuring Chris and Zohar. I mean, it's beautiful. Cool. And it says, you own the systems, do what you like to get the most out of your experience. I completely agree. And Hugo says, gotta go. We'll speak again, Zod. Nice seeing you and Zohar and the live chat again. Thanks for being here, Hugo. And Koopy Malik says, hello, all panel and chat. Good to see you, Koopy. Yeah, it's really one of those things where right now we are geeking out about Unico, because Unico released something that we have no complaints with. Is it that hard? Is it that hard to release a cabinet that we have no complaints with? I mean, if Unico puts out a Capcom cab to complement the Neo Geo, it's game over. We're done. We're done here. Not only do we not need to buy anything else, but we don't even need to talk about home arcades anymore.
Chris, I will quit my job if you do it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
You'll be YouTubing every day about the Capcom cabinet.
I'll change my MK fan page, and I'm just going to change it to Unico fan page.
Unico fan page. Yeah, we'll be the official Unico fan custodians. We'll be up in here talking about Unico every day. Chris, you can come on here anytime, man. Hopefully you'll have a better connection next time you come on, and we'll be able to, you won't be having that vacation Wi-Fi.
I think they're doing it. I think it's happening.
So too. I think
maybe even this year.
Oh my God. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
November, because they released something last November. Maybe something this November. Dude, I think it's happening.
And he says, I'll keep pressing Joy's ear. And he says, I want it too, guys.
Okay, then that means it's not happening. God damn it.
And Koopy Malik says, I don't own an arcade cabinet, but I think it'd be awesome to have one. Yeah, just don't buy an arcade one-up, whatever you do.
Wow.
That's the message. That's the message of the show. Don't buy an arcade one-up.
Oh my God, you're gonna get us killed, Joseph.
Listen, we gotta give credit where credit is due. You see, what happens is there's not enough pro Unico, pro MVSX people on YouTube.
I know.
They all kiss the ring of Arcade 1-Up. They all have 6 million Arcade 1-Up machines. There's a guy that does a show every week where he shows off.
I like him though.
I love him too. I love him too. But he literally every week he's like, okay, this week I'm going to talk about my top 5 Arcade 1-Up machines. Okay, over here
you're gonna get me killed, Joseph.
We have the buck hunt, the big buck hunter. Now, what's special about the big buck hunter is that the cab is huge. It's very
Joseph,
big.
You're gonna get me killed.
Okay, I'll stop.
I have enough enemies. Trust me.
It's like no love lost there. But I just, it's just so funny to me because I look at these cabs and I'm like, yeah, dude, how do you even have room to walk around your house?
Can you name one cab? Just name one cab from Arcade 1-Up that they didn't cut any corners. They've cut corners on every single cab. Just tell me one 1-Up cab that you think was just perfect. Can you think of one? Because I can't.
I haven't really heard anything negative about the NBA Jam, but I don't know.
I think, is the Wi-Fi good or no?
I don't know. That's the only one that I haven't heard, that I really haven't heard anything negative about.
So,
I've heard people complaining about the Ninja Turtles one. I've heard people complaining about there's been lots of complaints about all the Street Fighter variants, the Pac-Mans, the legacy cabs, but I don't really, people seem really to like the Golden Axe. They seem to like that one too.
Death Adder,
but I don't know. But the MVSX is a great system. It ain't perfect. There's things I still want done for it, and there's much learned for future endeavors.
See, that's what I'm talking about. What Chris is saying right now, he doesn't stop at where he is. Like with 1-Up, we mess up. Okay, it's okay. Next cab, another mess up, another mess up, another mess up. Chris doesn't realize how great Unico is already. I mean, MVSX is already, but still he wants it to get, he wants it to be better. Even though it's already the best out there, he still is striving for it to get even better.
It's still better.
He's not stopping. That's the difference. They
Listen,
care.
I played Tapper and Paperboy the other day on the MVSX. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. And
for educational purposes.
For educational purposes, and they were both easier to play than they were on the Legacy cab.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Richard here says the only Arcade 1-Up I don't regret buying was Burger Time. The rest I sold. This is the comment of the night right here.
There's a problem. There's a problem with Burger Time though.
But that's the only one he kept.
There's a problem with a Burger Time cab. The game Bad Dudes it cuts off like the borders or something. I forgot what. But they didn't even take the time to play the other games on that cab to see that Bad Dudes is cut a certain way, so it just doesn't fit the screen.
So the aspect ratio is off.
Something I don't remember exactly because I could care less about 1-Up, but I know something is wrong with that game because of the way the screen is.
Oh. Man, so, I could just imagine you buy that cab because you love those particular games, and you start playing the game and the game is off, like half the screen is missing or something like
that. It's not half the screen, but it's just that the borders are off. I think.
And Neil says I kind of like the Marvel versus Capcom cab. I like the design of the cab, but but as far as the cabinet, the 1-Up, no. Had a lighting panel. Was it Wi-Fi? Good art, etc. Don't know for sure. I think it is Wi-Fi. I think Jason, the guy who I was talking about earlier, I think mentioned that it was Wi-Fi when he was doing his showcase of all his Arcade 1-Up cabs, and he's got a lot of them. I mean, he's got so many, Zohar. I mean, he's got
who?
Jason. He's got all the cabinets. He's got.
Okay.
And he's got third floor arcade, and he's got all these everywhere. Look at you watch his videos, and you're like, "Whoa, dude! How do you even walk around? Do you even got? Crazy. You got a cabinet in your bathroom? Because I really want to know.
On the next episode of Hoarders.
Oh God, Arcade Hoarders. That'd be the show, Arcade Hoarders. Everybody, like, you'd have people like testifying, being like, I can't give up my arcade one-ups.
Oh my God, Joseph, we're making so many enemies.
They just released the Legacy Cab. They just released the Capcom Final Fight Legacy Cab, but I don't have room. I don't have room for it.
Just break down that wall and make another room over there.
Jason is a cool guy. I love that guy, but that's why I'm like mentioning him, just because he has so many cabs. I mean, he's got I look at that dude and I'm like, dude, your cab collections look.
Michael B has a lot too, right? Michael B.
Oh, I know. He was doing like remodeling. Remember when he did that video where he was talking about, I'm trying to decide what order to put the cabinets in?
Oh,
and
yeah.
He kept
that
moving
was
things around.
Episode.
Yeah.
That was actually a fun episode because he did it, he's a very creative guy.
I'm like, dude, but see, when you got to do that kind of stuff, it's like, man, it really puts things in perspective. Like, what's more important, your living space or filling every corner of every wall with one-ups?
At some point, you have to start selling your cabs just to get the new ones, right?
Right. It's like a drug problem. You're just at the point where you're just like over, right?
Yeah.
Is it like an addiction? Does it become like
an addiction? It's definitely an addiction.
So maybe not like a drug addiction, but an addiction.
Right. It's definitely an addiction. There's lots of many addictions out there, and that's just one of them.
But like to the point where you're like, and I love where people are sitting there like, well, if I sell Big Buck Hunter and I sell Golden Tee, I can get the Final Fight Legacy cab.
If I sell this shitty cab and this shitty cab, maybe I can afford to get another shitty cab that I'll eventually sell for another shitty cab.
It's a cycle. So basically what's happened is Arcade 1-Up has conditioned people to the point where they just have to keep buying cabs.
Yeah. It's crazy. Hey, Joseph, I'm going to have to go like in a couple minutes because I'm starving.
Did your pizza finally come?
I missed the phone call. So I think he just came.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I want to thank you for being here, man. We've been at this for 2 hours. So
really?
We can wrap this. We can wrap this up. We can wrap this up right now, bro. I'm fine with that.
It didn't feel like 2 hours at all.
It didn't. It flew by, and that's why we should do this. It flew by, and that's why we should do this more often, Zohar, because we're.
It'd be funny if you look behind me and then Sonia comes in my apartment.
That would be great.
Funny.
To have jalapeno pizza with you.
No, she will come in with like a jar of cookie dough. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't say anything.
That would be so fun. No, that was funny. Neil says that Jason's a good guy. He loves the MVSX. Yes, and says good times. Yes, this was a great time. I do want to thank everybody for being here for tonight's episode of the ZodWriter Show. I want to thank Chris, aka Neo, and Zohar for co-hosting with me tonight. This has been a wonderful show. It's been a wonderful show, and I hope we do more. I can't wait till Sunday. My whole life is holding out for Sunday now. I'm like, I can't wait. Just let me live to Sunday.
I'm very scared, man. I'm very scared. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
I love your show, and I love you, and I think you're awesome, dude.
And you're awesome as well, man. Well, take care, everybody. Good night. Thank you for watching tonight's episode of the ZodWriter Show. Have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you next time.
Peace.